Someone at work stole my chair, so I had them arrested. I got a new job in sales working for a company that sells access control systems, CCTV systems, etc. The chair in my cubicle was uncomfortable AF, so by day 3, I brought in my own Herman Miller Aran chair. On day 4, it was missing. I looked around and another sales rep was sitting in it. I asked for it back, but he basically told me to F off. I went and spoke to the owner of the company. He told me that the chairs aren't reserved. They are first come, first serve. I explained that I own the chair and it cost me $1,800. He told me that I need to come in earlier if I want that chair. The next day, the same guy was sitting in it when I got to the office. I told him to give it back or I was going to call the cops. He refused, so I called the cops. It was quite the scene, but in the end, he admitted that he took my $1,800 chair. I was prepared. I had the receipt which showed the serial number. Yes, Aran chairs have serial numbers. They asked me if I wanted to press charges. My new boss said I would be terminated if I had him arrested. So I said, absolutely, I want to press charges. My new boss fired me on the spot. So I carried my chair out with me as I was leaving. And yes, the cops arrested the dude who took my chair. He admitted to it. The dude who took my chair has been in the industry for about 15 years. But he's going to lose his security license, which means he won't be able to work in the industry. He's going to lose his job. I don't care. He shouldn't have stolen my chair. Am I the jerk for making this dude lose his job? So, crazy story. Personally, I don't think I would have gone that far for a chair. But also, it is $1,800, and I'd be pretty mad if someone took my things in the office and then wouldn't give it back. Even if it was like an expensive pen or like a nice quality pen, I'd be pretty mad. I don't know if I'd call the police though. I would have just took the chair back. Let's see, the top comment said, sometimes being a jerk is the correct response. Also, your boss is now out 2 workers. I'm surprised that's the top comment. Yeah, I guess they're out 2 workers now. The second top comment says, due to lower back issues, I always provided my own desk chair and made sure it was clearly marked that it was my personal property. I also used a bicycle cable log to secure my chair to my desk at the end of the day. One coworker had his office chair disappear, so he sent an email to the entire global company address book. It was hysterically funny to read the response emails. Honestly, these comments aren't that funny. I was expecting like more funnier responses. I think, yeah, everyone's kind of agreeing that they're not the jerk. Honestly, yeah, some people think this didn't happen, but this seems pretty believable to me. You know, people have expensive chairs all the time, bring stuff to the office. I've heard of stories where people steal food from like fellow coworkers if you put it in the shared fridge. So this feels very possible to me. And honestly, I'd be pretty mad. Yeah, if it was my chair, I'd be mad if it was my food even more. Because then you're stealing my lunch, right? Alright, the next story is, boyfriend mad at me because he opened up relationship and got no dates. Am I the jerk for how I responded? Me and my boyfriend, both 37, have been dating for just over 3 years. Prior to this, I was single for 8 years. Overall, it's been a healthy relationship. We're both independent with our jobs, living situations, etc. I do love spending time with him. I don't really have any complaints. However, something that startled me was back about 6 months ago, him saying that he wanted to open the relationship up, meaning going on dates and sleeping with other women. I've never been in a dynamic like this, so naturally I had a lot of questions. He told me that I could also go on dates and sleep with other men. I honestly was a little skeptical at first, but after doing some research and having time to think, I agreed. He had told me that if at any point I wasn't comfortable, we could stop and close the relationship again. One of the rules was we don't discuss with each other what we're doing or who we're going on dates with, etc. I signed up to a dating app. Within a few days, I had 500 plus likes, and it's been pretty steady since. So I started matching with people, texting, and arranging dates. On average, I go on 1 or 2 dates a month. There are also some people in similar dynamics of open relationships that I'm going on dates with, sleeping with regularly. I quite like the fact that everything is non-committal, so even though I was skeptical at first, I'm enjoying the open relationship. As decided from before, I haven't told my boyfriend about any of this. I was at my boyfriend's house the other day, and my phone was on the kitchen counter. He saw my notifications and then proceeded to go through my phone and read messages, including going through the dating app and whatnot. To say he was angry was an understatement. Turns out he opened the relationship up to take out on a date a younger girl at his workplace who misread his idea of a date as just a work lunch. He then openly told me that he wanted to see if it would work with her so he could ultimately leave me for her. However, she didn't want him, and it seems like no one else did either. In the last 6 months, he's had a few rough dates, but no one additional to sleep with. I feel somewhat embarrassed for him. He demanded we instantly close the relationship up, and I told him that maybe we should just end things or at least take a break. He was outraged and called me names, but he was the one who wanted this dynamic, so what's the problem? I left, and as I walked home, I contemplating fully breaking it off with him. He's been blowing my phone up, and I'm not quite sure what to say. Am I the jerk? Wow, what a story. Personally, I would never be able to do an open relationship. I just don't think I would not be able to handle that at all, ever. And I'd be really shocked if my significant other ever asked for that. Man, this is also has an extra layer in it too. I can't believe the boyfriend was trying to date some younger coworker. Oh man, that's so crazy. Well, first off, obviously this person can't be the jerk, and I think they know it too. They didn't want the open relationship. The boyfriend asked, and the boyfriend was literally trying to like weigh his options before dumping her. So it was like a very calculated situation. So I'm guessing they broke up. There's no update, but I'm guessing they broke up. The top comment here says, "You should join the rest of the population in not dating him as well." That's pretty funny. The second top one says, he admitted that he was stringing you along to see if this younger woman wanted him. If she wanted him, he would have broken it up with you for her, and you were asking if you're the jerk. Lady, you are a moron if you stay. Yeah, I think honestly this is just one of those things where, you put one of these up there, you'll know you get views. I'm surprised if anybody decides to stay. Our third story is, I told my friend why I don't want to date him, and our friends are saying I broke him. Am I the jerk? So my 21 female friend of 10 years, Mark, 23 male, called me yesterday to meet him for lunch, and that he had something important to discuss with me. I had free time, so I agreed. I met him already there and joined him. We had lunch, then we talked a bit about random things. Then he cleared his throat and started speaking. He first told me that he didn't understand why I was dating my now boyfriend when he's a better match for me. I asked him to explain, and he basically went on about how he liked me first and he met me first. He's more good looking, knows me better. He's taller than my boyfriend and more successful, which is not true in any way. My boyfriend works aside. Mark's entire life is funded by his parents. Lol. He told me he doesn't understand how I can be with him when he's always been around waiting for me. I was out of words and asked him if he wanted me to be honest, which he said yes. I told him that I would never want to date him given how I've seen the way he treated his past girlfriends. He ghosts them when he feels like it and just expects them to be there waiting. I told him he's too immature and irresponsible for me, and that dating him would be exhausting. I also explained that the reasons I mentioned was why over time I started putting a distance to our friendship because I didn't like the way he treated the women in his life. When I was done, he was just quiet. He just excused himself and left. I went home and went about my day. Later in the evening, our other friends started asking what I did to Mark, and that he's been a wreck since he met me for lunch. He's drinking and not telling anyone what happened. I explained to them what happened, and they're saying I was harsh, and that I broke him, blah, blah, blah. But I think someone had to tell him the truth. So Reddit fam, am I the jerk? Edit. I know everyone is saying this, but whoa. I didn't think this post would blow up so much. I'm trying to get through the comments and answer some questions that are there. Was sort of occupied the whole day, so I just opened Reddit. Thank you all for the comments, honestly. Edit 2. I'm so overwhelmed by the comments in a good way. Most are really funny. I've been laughing so much I woke my sister's baby. I've sent my post to my friend, not associated with Mark, and our group chat is blowing up with more laughter. But in all seriousness, I'm thankful for the great comments and people giving advice on my safety. I'll definitely be more aware of my surroundings going forward. I don't know Mark as a violent person, but then again, this incident has proved that I may not know him like I think I do. Mark is currently blocked from everything. Our mutual friends who are supporting him and calling me out are also blocked. And this is also a learning lesson to me. to distance myself a lot more quicker next time I see red flags in future friendships. Thank you again, Reddit fam. If anything happens, I'll update you all, and I'll still be reading the comments and answering what I can. Edit number 3. I have an update, but I'm not sure if I should put it below here since this post has gotten quite long, so I'll just make a new post for those who are still interested in this post. So we're definitely going to look at that. First, let's look at the top comments. Not the jerk. Even if you had kind of liked him, I feel like declaring his feelings by being rude about your current partner is such a turnoff. He doesn't say anything meaningful or romantic about you, just that he thinks he's better than your actual boyfriend, so you should dare him instead. So you should date him instead. So entitled. Yeah, so basically, Mark sucks. I would hate Mark so much. I can't imagine just putting down another dude to try to get his girl. He's 23, so, I guess that's pretty young. Not really, but, Let's see if I can find... Oh, no, they deleted their account, so I won't be able to find the update. But, yeah, it's pretty gross. I cannot imagine doing stuff like that. That's crazy. This Mark guy is just... I guess he's just the worst. I think... Yeah, no, I can't imagine declaring feelings to someone when they already have a significant other. I've seen cases where it's like, it's like you've loved your best friend for so long and then you finally let it out before like distancing yourself. I've seen those things, which is also pretty sad. But this is also pretty crazy, just straight up doing it in like a weird way like that. The next story is called, Am I the Jerk for Swimming Topless? I, 32 female, just talked to the cops because neighbors complained about me swimming topless. I live out in the country in Manitoba, Canada. I don't live directly on a lake, but there's a public beach nearby that anyone can go to. There's a little boat ramp and some nice sand at the water's edge. I like to swim, but I prefer to skinny dip. However, this is a public beach. I won't go totally naked, I just go topless. But I also understand that not every parent wants their children around a random lady's breasts, despite it being perfectly legal in Canada for women to be topless in public. I actually didn't know that. So I usually go swimming at night. This beach does not have operation hours, so it's not against the rules or anything. One night, I was out swimming topless like I usually do, and I saw some teenagers riding their bikes on the road next to the beach. Well, I guess one of them told their parents, or maybe someone else saw me, because I got a visit from the cops today. They kinda had a vibe like they knew they were here for a BS reason, but they still asked that I stop swimming topless. I told them I'd think about it, they wished me a good day and left. I don't know if I'm the jerk because, yeah, I get that it's not common to be topless in Canada, especially in smaller towns like mine, but I'm not doing anything illegal, and usually no one is at the beach at night. Honestly, I'm kinda tempted to go sunbathe topless now, just out of spite, lol. So Reddit, am I the jerk? Interesting situation. I've never had, I guess as a guy, I always kind of am topless at the beach, so maybe I don't really have much to say. But I kind of get it. Like, I wouldn't want my kids to see like a random lady like half naked, Definitely would not want that. But also, if it's not illegal and like, I guess it's not a big deal. It's not really hurting anybody. That actually reminds me of, yeah, today too. There was these kids that were inside one of my neighbor's cars, and they were just honking and honking and honking in the car. And I thought I was like, before I was just gonna let it slide, I thought maybe it was like, they were fixing up the car. But when I went to check, it was these kids that were just kept on honking, and their parents were right outside the car, and their parents are just letting it happen, having a conversation. So I had to like open the window, and I was like, excuse me, like, why are you guys honking? And the dad just looked at me like, oh, like, the kids are just playing. And like, if you're playing, the kids can scream, they can run, they can cry, but you're honking a car, and it's really hot, so we're not closing our windows, right? So yeah, I had to tell them, like, you guys can't be doing that. And I think, yeah, in that case, it's a very public area that you're disturbing people compared to just being naked. I get it though. I wouldn't want my kids to see like a naked person out of nowhere. And let's read one more. Am I the jerk for refusing to give my Switch account to my kid's dad? My kid 16 lives with her dad quite a few states away. For her birthday this year, my brother gave her a Nintendo Switch. Before any of this happened, I reached out to her father to make sure he would be okay with the gift because he's pretty intense about internet surveillance. She's 16 and doesn't have a browser on her phone or the ability to get any apps. I don't agree with any of this, but alas, she lives with him and continues to want to. Anyways, we got the go ahead that she could have the Switch, so I set her up with my old Switch account in order to not have to rebuy some of the games I already owned. And then I purchased quite a few more. Ideally, I was planning for us to share this account by setting up her Switch as the primary, and then buying myself one somewhere down the line and setting it up as the secondary. Now that she's home, I'm being told that her father is demanding to have ownership of the Switch account. I'm fuming. I was not told that this was a condition of her having this device. If I had been, I would not have given her my personal Switch account that has my banking info, my personal email, my everything attached to it. Essentially, to me, it seems he's looking to make this gift my brother and I got for her into his new family Switch rather than a gift that belongs to our daughter alone. He has more children with his new wife. The part that sucks is he's apparently threatening to take it away from her without the transfer to his email account. She's obviously panicking, and I don't want this to result in her losing her favorite birthday gift, but am I being unreasonable for saying F this? It's so unreasonable from where I'm standing. That said, I don't want to ruin her birthday gift. Ugh. Please hit me with perspective. Let's see the top comment. Not the jerk. And she's choosing to live with him. Your account is just that, yours. If he wants control of an account, he can start one and pay for games. And OP actually replied, yeah, she doesn't want to leave her siblings. She loves her family too. Like, obviously he's a pain, but she doesn't want to move like 5 states away from her siblings, which I understand. It sucks for me, but like, ultimately, I won't try and do anything she doesn't want. Re-custody. Wow, that's... divorce and kids, it's such a messy situation, right? Honestly, obviously not the jerk, you know, it's her account, everything. I feel bad for the kid. She's like in between like her mom and her dad here, right? And like, yeah, obviously I would never give my account up to someone I'm divorced with, like, because they're honestly, if anyone's demanding something, I suddenly don't want to give it to them at all. I would feel bad for the daughter so much though. I wonder if there's anything she could do to like contact Nintendo, but I know Nintendo's never gonna refund games or anything. That's really unfortunate. Honestly, I don't know. I would just make him get their own account and find some way to send the save files over to her, I guess. That's all I would try to do. I think that's all I could do, really, you know? Final story. Am I the jerk for not wanting to meet my dad's girlfriend who's younger than I am? Sorry, it's a little long. Me, 29, and my dad, 59, are currently not speaking. He announced on a FaceTime call with his girlfriend, 25, who was next to him during the call that he is dating her. At the time, I did not know her age, but could tell she was much younger. The next day, I called him and he had me on speaker, again with her next to him. I asked how old she was and he said she's 25. I was shocked. It took a couple days to digest this news and truly felt uncomfortable. He has dated younger women before, but never younger than his own daughter. At our next conversation, I asked him to just hear me out on why it makes me uncomfortable, which ended in a complete disaster. I voiced that it makes me uncomfortable, that I don't want to meet her or spend holidays together, but that I don't want our relationship to change because I love him. Not giving ultimatums, he can continue seeing her, etc., but for now, this is my boundary. He stated that she is so mature for her age, to which I made a remark of asking what age is too young if we are basing it all on maturity. He took it the wrong way. I apologized for the remarks the very next day since I could see how that can be perceived. He said thanks, that's all, and hung up. Shortly after, I was met with multiple texts about I should go on and live my life, and he pretty much is cutting me out of his life. I was heartbroken. Coming today, I was in a severe car accident which totaled my car, and I must have had a guardian angel because I walked away with just a couple of bruises and burn marks. I informed my cousin and asked her to let my grandma, my dad's mother, know since I am not in a state to let everyone know right now. I got a couple messages from her checking in. No one informed my dad until 2 days after. I did not want to because he has cut me out of his life. I began to hold a little resentment towards my grandmother because she would allow her son to treat his daughter this way. Today I woke up from a nap and had 20 plus messages from my dad, with the first one being, "Hey, heard you were in an accident, hope you're okay," followed by 19 messages of how I'm a terrible daughter and need to stop talking badly about his new girlfriend with my cousin, which we haven't since I don't talk about my dad. how I can save my money and time on cards. How I can save my money and time on cards. I send a Father's Day card even though we weren't speaking. That I shouldn't even respond and that I should block him. I was in shambles. I called my grandma and she right away defended him and how I am in the wrong for being so judgmental of him dating someone younger and that this situation is pretty much my fault. Mind you, she read all the messages. She told me to write him a letter and think about all the good things he's done, how I should keep communicating with them, etc. Basically that she won't talk to him about it because she doesn't want to be in the middle of it but also kind of siding with him. I am heartbroken. I've been a mess all day on top of dealing with the accident, and my mother, who is facing mental issues, can't talk to her about my accident because it would just destroy her. I feel like I have no family to rely on. My friends all agree with me, and my therapist also said that there shouldn't be an issue with me setting boundaries. But why does it feel like I am the jerk in the end? Thanks everyone for reading so far. So the top comment says, your grandma refusing to be in the middle is picking a side. I'm not going to tell you what to do because you're a grown person, but please consider you were just in an accident. No matter how minor it seemed, anyone who is willing to put additional stress on you to protect their feelings after you had an accident is not a person who adds value to your life. Your grandma is putting stress on you, your dad is too, so it may be healthier to just distance yourself. So yeah, crazy story. It's it's very interesting how so many people have such crazy family dynamics. I would say, yeah, it's over. Like, obviously, this person cares a lot about family. That's why they're so hurt about their dad and with their grandma, and still talking to their grandma and stuff about this situation. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's definitely. But also, we can tell people to cut people off and stuff, but it's hard, especially friends, especially family. So, obviously, they're probably not gonna do that, especially if they made this long post about it. Yeah, definitely, they know that they're not the jerk. Like, obviously, the dad should not be dating someone that's 25 if they're about to turn 60, right? Especially someone, I think that is a big line. If you're dating someone and they're younger than your daughter, it probably makes sense that you're looking too young. Like, it's just weird. That's really weird. I know some people say it's fine. I know in the olden days, like, it didn't really matter that much, I guess. But it's weird. I think it'll always be weird to me. Like, how big of a gap is that? It's like, oh my gosh, it's like 35. Oh, like 35-year difference. I'm surprised that his girlfriend, I guess, maybe the dad's very good looking or something like that. Like a Leonardo DiCaprio. I guess he has to be, right? But that's so crazy. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. This is some new content that I wanted to test out. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on these stories. And let me know if I should do more. Thanks.